Jay Leno, the talk show host and comedian, funny man, TV funny boy, Jay Leno admits comedians have to adapt their jokes to fit cancel culture. Now, I know that people are thinking I'm going to be raging at this article and stuff like that. He sort of half has a point. I tell a lot of people to be very careful in this modern society where the tiniest little thing, it doesn't matter. You could have 20 years of left wing activism behind you. All it takes is one little off the cuff comment, and none of that matters anymore. You're getting taken behind the chemical shed. So I do tell people, I try my best not to have a chilling effect on people. I do want people to speak their mind, but the problem is in this day and age, you have to be careful. You know, don't don't let the Romans know you're Christian. Jay Leno, who was cancelled for his past racist remarks about Asian Americans, says comedians have to change with changing times. Jay Leno isn't laughing anymore. The former late night talk show host explained that comedians have to change their jokes to fit the changing times. I think it's like any other thing. You either change or die, Leno, 71, said on the latest episode of the People Everyday podcast about the era of cancel culture. The comedian has been on the receiving end of cancel culture when he was criticised for his history of racist jokes about Asian Americans. During the podcast interview, The Tonight Show alum also explained his metamorphosis in the comedy industry and likened the change to being an athlete. In football, you have certain rules, and when the rules change, you don't conform to them, you're out of the game, he said. And that's the one thing that makes comedy great, the one thing that everyone loves about comedy, and the thing that will ensure its survival and its popularity. Rules. Yeah. Comedy should have rules. Yes. He then confessed that in the past, comedians could make sexist, racist, and homophobic jokes without much consequence because those were the good old days when everyone knew that it was just jokes and everyone got made fun of. Everybody got it. If you were sitting in the front row of a comedy show, you are probably going to get slaughtered, right? Everyone knew that back in those days were just jokes. If the joke wasn't for you, that's fine, don't laugh. If it was for you, then laugh to your heart's content. The good old days when everyone knew that the purpose of comedy was just for entertainment. Like, we are here to make you laugh. We're here to make you have a good time. I'm not here because it's like, yeah, man, I'm going to tell a bunch of gay jokes and I just hope that half this crowd just goes on a right gay bashing spree on the way home from the comedy club. No, that's not what comedians want. Comedians want to make you laugh and put on a good show. They don't want you to go out and violently assault people or assault people and beat people up or have any angry, horrible, hateful thoughts in your head because it's not really comedy, is it? But despite that, everyone thinks that we're using comedy as a Trojan horse to turn people into super Nazis, despite there being literally no scientific evidence whatsoever to back any of that up. But however, that doesn't really stop them from making that argument. Rap music will causes crime. Comedy causes gas chambers. Yeah, sure. Go back to the fucking 90s with that shit. Now, everybody has a voice. You have to change the material to the times you live in. Leno admitted, my attitude is, look, these are the new rules. You want to adapt. If you want to adapt. If you don't, fine. Don't get up and tell jokes then. The Jay Leno's Garage host apologised for his racist comments about people of Asian descent in March. He expressed his regret over his racist comments during a Zoom call with Guy Oki, leader of the activist group Media Action Network for Asian Americans. During the Zoom call, Leno explained that at the time there was a prevailing attitude that some group is always complaining about something, so don't worry about it. Whenever we received a complaint, there would be two sides to the discussion. Either we need to deal with this, or screw them if they can't take a joke, which that's my motto. Too many times I sided with the latter, even when in my heart I knew it was wrong. I am issuing this apology. I do not consider this particular case to be another example of cancel culture, but a legitimate wrong that was done on my part. Mana, okay, has been very gracious in accepting my apology, he continued. And there we go. That is the end of the article. Now, as far as Jay Leno saying that you have to change to fit the rules, in a way, he is right, but under certain circumstances. So, for example, if you want to have any type of mainstream career, then yes, you need to follow the rules. Your comedy will be heavily restricted, very heavily restricted. And all it will take is one, basically, but the entire time that you're in that mainstream career, you are walking over a very, very thin tightrope made of fucking dental floss. And all it takes is one little slip, and that's your entire career down in the gutter, right? So basically, if you want any type of mainstream career, right, especially like in Britain, right, right, blame the Tories for everything, right? Right wing bad, joke about racist Nazis, UKIP, and all that type of stuff, like left wing focused jokes, right? If you want any type of mainstream career, make left wing jokes. That's sorry, that's just the way it is. That's what the mainstream is. In America, it was, for the longest time, Bono Blumph. Am I right, boys? Like that was it. You want any type of mainstream career, then be left wing and only make jokes that attack the right or attack, rich people and all that type of stuff. That's what you have to do if you want to get into the mainstream. That's just the way the mainstream is now. If that's the way that they've constructed it, because it's not exactly what the public wants. It's not the mainstream decides what the public wants, and then we'll feed them only that until they like it. But if you want a mainstream career, then yes, he's right. You do have to follow the rules. However, if you're like me and you find the mainstream is actually kind of cringe and you feel that the mainstream would kind of be a step down in your career, then do what we do and put on your own shows. Put on your own shows. I just, and everyone's talking, if you want to have any type of success, I've been cancelled a great number of times, and I just done just the weekend there. I just done 2 sold out shows in London. 2 nights sold out, and it's our first time back after the lockdown. Right, 2 sold out shows, and then I've got another 2 coming up as well. And it's just that there is a market for it where you can go to these places and you can tell the jokes that you want because you're booking the event, you're paying for it all, so you will have to support yourself, through ticket sales, but it is possible. It is something that you can do. And that way you have complete freedom complete freedom within the laws of the country to tell whatever jokes that you want, and I get to go on stage, and one of the beautiful things that I love is I can sit on stage and I can tell my jokes, and I'm not sitting there like, oh my god, oh my manager, my agent, oh this and that, oh I'm probably going to get cancelled from a BBC show, I'm going to get that. I don't need to worry about any of that, and it's wonderful. People turn around and it's like being cancelled itself is fucking horrible, right? It's scary. Especially for someone that's never been through it before and someone that doesn't have any clout whatsoever. But going through being cancelled is fucking scary. But after it happens, you feel so much more free. I'm being serious. You feel so free, and you're like, holy shit, it's already been done. The plaster has been ripped off, so I don't need to worry about it anymore. I've already been cancelled. It's already happened. So I can carry on making the jokes that I want and saying the things that I like, and I can make my comedy and make my things the way that I want, without restrictions placed on me by these higher powers that are hanging over me like the sword of Damocles. Right? I'm not saying go out and actively get cancelled because you all have jobs and bills that you have to pay. So again, don't let the Romans know that you're Christian. But it's just, don't go out and get cancelled, right? You have bills that you need to pay and stuff like that, okay? However, to those who go through it, yes, it's a scary time. It's a very, very scary time when you have all the cancel culture vultures coming after you and wanting to absolutely ruin your life because you did some little minor infraction against the cathedral. But afterwards, you are very, very free. So, as far as what Jay Leno said, yes, he is partly true if you want a mainstream career. If you want a mainstream career, yes, comedy is very heavily regulated and controlled with rules if you want to make it in the mainstream. But if you don't really care about the mainstream and you want to go solo and you want to do your own thing, then you have the freedom to do whatever the hell you want. And I would highly recommend the latter.